you are one decision away from a completely new life. I was laid off in December, right before the holidays, right before Christmas. There is a respectful way to lay people off, and there is a disrespectful way to do it. And unfortunately, my layoff was the latter. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dina Danielle. If you haven't been here before, welcome. Click the subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos and give me a thumbs up. Let's get into it. Have you been laid off recently? There are a lot of layoffs going on. So if you have been laid off, let go, fired, quit, we're all in the same boat, honestly. You don't have work right now and you're wondering what the heck to do. I think the first thing is to, whether you had a respectful layoff, a disrespectful layoff, you quit, you know, whatever the scenario, is just take a little bit of time for yourself. Like, so many of us are burnt out on our jobs because companies are requiring so much of you and offering so little in return. So firstly, I would just take a little time for yourself, whether that's like a few days, a week, you know, it depends on how much savings you have and really how much time you can take while still being comfortable, not freaking out about finances. With that said, if you are able to like get away for a little while and use this opportunity to travel, it doesn't have to be far, just a little road trip, you know, maybe 1 or 2 nights at an Airbnb, clear your head, go camping, be in nature, whatever you can do to kind of get out and reset, take a little time to rest up before you figure out your next moves is extremely helpful and beneficial. Once you've done that, I think you can come back and you can reset and you can really think about what your goals are, what you want in your next position, whether that is working full-time for someone else or that is starting your own business, freelancing, you know, going for a project that you never had the opportunity to do before. So I'm really right now thinking of this as an opportunity. I don't know exactly what my next step will be, but it's been about 3 months where I had the holidays, New Year's and everything. And then after going to Japan, because I had that trip planned already before being laid off, and the tickets were non-refundable. So I was like, well, I guess I'm still going. And that was my like little reset. And once I got back from that, I really like sat down with myself and I was like, what are my goals? So one of the good things to do is write this out, get everything like written out on paper. Is there a book that you've always wanted to write that you haven't had the time and energy to put into? Have you wanted to start your YouTube channel? Have you wanted to start a business? You know, have you wanted to like bike across the United States and, you know, write a story about it? I don't know, but whatever that thing is, you now have the opportunity to do it while you are maybe looking for other part or full-time jobs. So I really have tried to frame this in a positive light, because if something wasn't meant for me, which this job clearly was not meant for me, then something better is going to come along. It's just a matter of time. And it's really about having a good mindset around this, because once you start getting down on yourself and you're like, oh, I wasn't good enough, they didn't keep me, they let me go, whatever the case may be, then you're in kind of like this negative realm where you can't really manifest good things into your life. You can't see the positive in the situation. So I think it's really important to have a good mindset around this. When one door closes, like others open, and that's just the way it is. That's just the way it's always been. So really, why not take this as an opportunity? Have you always wanted to try pottery? Sign up for a pottery class. Or, you know, have you always wanted to do skateboarding? Now is the time. Like, whatever that thing may be, you have an opportunity right now. You have more time than you did when you had your job. Like, take that opportunity. Life is about having fun within reason. Once you have reframed your mind, because I know it can be kind of a shock to the system, a shock when you get laid off, is okay, you figured out maybe which direction you want to go, whether that is starting a business, applying for part-time jobs, applying for full-time jobs. Now, let's put together a list. Let's put together an action plan. Let's put together whatever the next steps are to get you from the point that you're at to the point that you want to be. So let's say that's you want a new job. You really liked your job, you want another full-time position, then you should work on your resume. If you have an accompanying portfolio, great, work on that as well, revamp it, update your LinkedIn, and then figure out what specific jobs you want to apply for. So you're not just applying for everything in a frenzy and seeing what, like throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks. Like, that is not a good strategy. It's gonna give you anxiety. It just is. Like, if you're in this state, if you're in this frenzied state, like, I need to find a job right now, which I understand the financial part of it can be really burdensome and weigh on you and be scary, but you also want to make sure that your next step aligns with your future goals and what you really want to do. Otherwise, it's not going to be sustainable. You're not going to be happy in the role, and you're not going to be able to stay there, and you're going to be in the same position in another like 6 months. So really deciphering what your goals are, what kind of career next step aligns with what you want is going to be really helpful. And then catering your resume and your portfolio and your LinkedIn to that is the right way to go about this. Additionally, if you want a part-time job, then you're doing the same thing for part-time opportunities. If you want to start your own business and now is the time to go all in with that, then I would say, what are the steps to get you to where you need to go? Do you need to apply for grants to get your business up and going? Do you have already some savings that you can put into the business frugally, I would say, if you don't have a job already? Put some savings into the business frugally and really put together a business plan. Like, let's be smart about this. Let's be strategic about this. Use your Excel docs, use AI to help come up with a business plan, because AI is like pretty all-knowing these days. It can be really helpful. So be strategic in your next steps. Really think about what your goals are, write them down, do some deep digging, and find out what you really need to from yourself to be able to take these next steps in a strategic fashion. Also, however you can make this process fun, make it fun. I saw a TikTok of one girl who was like, we are not job searching, we are job shopping. And I thought that was a really cute and fun way to do it. Like, okay, you're not job searching, you're job shopping. Like, what would you really like to do in your future role? What kind of company do you want to work for? Are you happy in the location that you are, or do you want to move? Like, should you be applying for jobs in another city? Should you be applying for jobs in another country, which, let's be honest, are a little bit harder to get with the whole visa application system, but also not impossible. So really, this is an opportunity to be strategic and thoughtful. I know I keep saying strategic, but I think that's really the best word to describe like your next steps should be strategic and thoughtful, and you should be really intentional about what you want moving forward. This is an opportunity. One door closed because it wasn't right for you, but there's something so much better coming along. I would say get creative with it. Also, if you are applying to creative positions, then have something pretty creative about your resume that is still professional. Like Elwood's had a pink resume. You can do whatever you want. There are these structures, and I think sometimes we think we need to really stick to them. But if you want to stand out from the crowd and you want to be different when there are hundreds maybe thousands of people applying for the same position that you want, you have to think about how you're going to stand out, whether that's with a pink resume or something eye-catching, or maybe something interesting in your portfolio for a creative position. Just get creative with how you can stand out to employers, and also get creative with the kind of life that you want. You don't need to follow the typical social structure that we've all been told we need to do with climbing the ladder. Like, maybe you want to buy a tiny home and like live in bumblefuck and like have a farm. That's fine. Who says you need to be working on Wall Street? Who's telling you that, you know? Like, this is an opportunity also to try new things, to put yourself out there, to go for the goals that maybe you didn't have the time or the energy, or you were restricted by your job and your schedule. Like, you are one decision away from a completely new life. And I feel like that's a little terrifying, but it's also invigorating and really exciting. So I hope this video helps you guys. If you've been laid off, let go, fired, whatever, quit your job, you are definitely not alone. A lot of us are going through this right now, and it's when you are really able to reframe it into a positive mindset, it's a very exciting thing. There's fear around it because, you know, you're in a transition period and you don't know your next steps, but there's also a lot of excitement because anything can happen. We are in a world of opportunities, even though sometimes it doesn't feel that way. But when you expand your mind and really think about what you want and what you could do, there is so much that the world can offer you. So I hope this video was really helpful, and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know what you think about it, and we're all in this together. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.